Here at the news, the federal government will today resume dialogue with the National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers and the Dangote Group after an earlier deadlock. Minister of Labour and Employment Mohammed Maigari Dingadi says while major issues have been resolved, discussions will continue to address the few outstanding concerns.
Important. What we are discussing today is very, very important to the peace, stability of our dear country and our economy. Oil industry is not a sector that we play with.
Nigeria is sending a clear message to the global oil community that its investment landscape has changed and the country is open for business. Speaking at the Engineering, Procurement and Construction Companies EPC Deepwater Investment Roundtable, Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Oil Senator Heineken Lupobiri urged major engineering, procurement and construction companies to return to Nigeria, assuring them that previous concerns have been addressed through bold reforms and investor-focused policy shifts. Meanwhile, the governing All Progressives Congress has described allegations by the former Speaker, House of Representatives, and former Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, over President Bola Tinubu's attempt to destabilize opposition parties as falsehood that cannot be substantiated. In a statement signed by its National Publicity Secretary, Felix Muka, said Tambuwal's appearance on Channels TV News and his disparaging posture on the president and the governing party does not define his status as a one-time number 4 citizen of Nigeria whose conduct should be exemplary and exceptional. He urged him and his cronies in the African Democratic Congress to fix their internal crisis and face charges of movement of monies by the anti-graft agencies and stop distracting Nigerians with baseless and unfounded claims just to seek for undeserving sympathies of the Nigerian people. Examination cheats are getting more sophisticated, exploiting technology to beat Nigeria's admission system. A fresh report by the Special Committee on Examination Infractions set up by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has exposed over 4,000 cases of finger blending and nearly 200 instances of AI-assisted impersonation during the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. The findings were presented to JAMB Registrar Professor Ishaq Oloyede by the committee chairman Dr. Jack Ekpeli, who describes the trend as a dangerous assault on meritocracy in admissions. The federal government of Nigeria has taken delivery of essential maternal and newborn health commodities valued at approximately 3 billion naira. The initiative is part of President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda aimed at revitalizing the country's health sector. At the official handover ceremony in Abuja, the executive director of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Mui Aina, described the move as a significant step towards strengthening Nigeria's health systems and improving maternal and child health outcomes. Meanwhile, West Africa has learned valuable lessons from Ebola, COVID-19 and Lassa fever. But Lassa fever has proved to be a recurring disease in this sub-region, threatening ECOWAS health security priorities, turning those lessons into infectious disease control into action for curtailing the spread of Lassa fever is a major concern for experts at the regional conference in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. The National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, has dismissed the report that enrollment agent in Abuja collect money to falsify applicant date of birth. In a statement, the head of corporate communications at NIMC, Kayode Adegoke, explains that all national identification number data modifications are done strictly online through the self-service modification portal and not physically. The statement stresses that NIMC has no agent for data changes and operates a zero-tolerance policy against extortion, falsification, or unethical practices. Adegoke urges the public to follow approved processes with official guidelines and fees and to report any misconduct through the Commission's complaint channels, while reassuring that the integrity of the National Identity Database remains secure. And that's the news for now. Good morning, Nigeria continues shortly with Claire and Yari after this break. Stay with us.